Hey guys, welcome back to the next lecture. In this one, we're going to start learning about shapes. So what are shapes? Shapes are like drawing lines or arrows or triangles and squares or ovals. Now the great thing is about ovals and shapes and squares, to format them or to create them is exactly the same no matter what the shape. So by learning one, we learn all of them. Now, the game we're going to be playing for this one is Spot the Difference. Now, I have to admit, without any arrogance, I'm pretty awesome at this game. And I haven't met a 5-year-old who can beat me. So, yes, it's on my resume. It is. So, what we're going to do is learn about shapes. So, let's begin. So, to actually insert a shape, you want to go Insert. Then you want to go Illustrations. Let's highlight that. Illustrations and shapes. Now, all your shapes are going to be located in here. So let me show you the drop down. This is what you're going to be using. Now, to format any of these, exactly the same. To create them, almost exactly the same. So what we're going to be using is the oval. Okay, and the oval is over here. Okay, so click on that, and your tool or your cursor is going to change to this black arrow. So what happens is, to draw an oval, you just want to click and drag. And after that, it's pretty self-explanatory. So let me show you. Let's start off with his, what's the first difference I see? His belly button. Okay, so if you want to put a circle, you click on the top left corner of where your circle ought to be. Okay, so let's do a practice one over here. Let's say the top left corner of my circle is here. We want to click and drag. And the circle will get bigger as you go further down. Now don't worry if you don't get the shape perfect straight away. Excel has a really cool function where you can just keep adjusting it until you're happy. Okay, so let's do that again. Let's go Insert, Illustrations, Shapes, Ovals, and it'll be under Basic Shapes. Okay, so let's do that again for the belly button, like so. Okay, and there you have it, your very first oval. Now what you've probably noticed is the circle has a fill, as in there's a background color, blue, and it's got an outline, which is also a darker shade of blue. But we don't want it to have a fill. Instead, we want it to be absolutely see-through, like plastic, clear plastic, but then to have a red rim around it with a dotted pattern. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So you want to go Drawing Tools, Format, okay? Then you want to go Shape Fill, and you want to click on the drop down like so, and go No Fill. Okay, so as you can see the belly button through it. Now we're going to change the outline. So you want to go back to Format, Shape Outline, and let's go to red. And there we go. Pretty simple. Lastly, let's change the pattern. So you want to go Shape Outline, and then you want to go to the bottom here. Now you're going to see two things, weight and dashes. Weight basically means how thick your line is. So I'm going to preview. Watch his belly button, right? Thin, and now it's getting thicker until the point where we get really, really thick. But we're not going to change that because we like that thickness. So what we want to do is go to dashes, and we want to choose dash, or the fourth dash, like so. And there you go. Now you have a dotted circle. Okay? Now we want to find the other 4 differences. Okay? So we could, if we wanted to, create 4 circles and then format each of those circles. But that's a bit of a waste of time, right? So what we're going to do is a bit of a shortcut. We're going to select this circle. We're going to go Home. We're going to go Copy. And then we're going to click somewhere over here and Paste. And there we go. So what that does is it maintains the formatting, so you don't have to do it again. So it's a little bit of a shortcut. Now what we can do is just grab this circle and place it at the next difference. So the next one is going to be, what can I see? The ear, like so. And if, like I said earlier, if you're not happy with the size, you can just resize it. Now you remember what we did for images, and we just grabbed the handles on the side. It's exactly the same for these shapes. So what you want to do is grab this right bottom corner of the image and stretch it until it engulfs the ear. There you go. So that's another bit of a shortcut. The next shortcut we can do is, this one is for the shortcut wizards out there. Now you can do click, copy, and paste. You can also do Control C with the keyboard and then Control V, okay, as another shortcut of doing that same thing. Or we can do this thing. Now I don't see a lot of people doing this, but it's pretty cool and it's going to save you a lot of time. What we're going to do is, we're going to do an automatic duplication. Now the way that works is, you want to click, but don't release your mouse. You want to click on your object and you want to move it, okay? As you can see, we're going to move it up above that image, but don't release. Now this is the trick. While you're holding the image, press Control on your keyboard and then release the mouse button. There you go. And what that does is it automatically creates a duplicate of your image. So let's place that now on the mouth, like so. There you go. Pretty cool, right? Okay, so now let's finish off the last differences. So let's do that example again. Click, drag, Control, and then release. Okay, now we're going to shape it at the end. And the last one is the leaf. So let's click. Oops. We want to go click, drag, Control, release. Now you can see this one, right? It's on a bit of an angle. So what we're going to do is, like the lesson previous, we're going to rotate this. So just grab the rotation handle right above the picture, like so. There you go. And this last one, we have like so. And there you have it. Really simple example of formatting shapes. Now one last thing before we go. This next technique has absolutely revolutionized my life. Not only in Microsoft Excel, but Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint, all the Microsoft Office programs. This technique is called grouping. Now, if you deal with images all the time, you are going to love this technique. What it means to group is that instead of having one image for the background, another image for the ear difference, another image here. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 images in this picture. So what happens is, if you want to move it or resize it, you have to move and resize every single shape and picture. With grouping, it puts it all into one. Okay, so the way it works is, you want to go home, then you want to go find and select, and go select objects. Okay, now what we want to do is, we want to highlight the entire thing. So we click and highlight, right, and release. Now what's going to happen is, we're going to select every object, as you can see. Okay, then you want to right click anywhere on this object, like so, and go group, like so. Now look what happens. The images inside have disappeared. They're still separate images, but right now we've created a relationship which combines them. Now watch what happens when I move this image. All the images come together as one, like so. Okay, I can't move the ones inside anymore because it's all one image. Okay, there you go. Oops, I've changed something. Okay, so it's one image. Now what happens if you don't have grouping? Well, let me show you. To ungroup, we want to right click, group, and then ungroup. Now watch what happens when I move the background. You lose the images. So what happens is, you have to pull them back, you have to push these back over here, and it's just a waste of time. Don't do it. Just use grouping. It's an awesome tool, and it's gonna save your life when it comes to images. Alright guys, that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time.